You know, admittedly on this channel, I do have a tendency to make things that are pretty cool, just not particularly useful. So I felt like today, I'll probably just do that again. The Sawblade Slinger, putting 40 holes in my neighbor's fence and 1 in this piece of styrofoam since 2013. Or in 2013, I should say. You ever wonder why the clip of it working was 4 seconds long? It's because that's what I had after filming for an entire day. It was not the devastatingly effective apocalypse weapon I clearly tried to portray it as. It was a big ol' heavy, clunky, trick shot device, basically. I want to make something that is easier to use, much more powerful, and gosh darn it that you can actually hit something with. The Sawblade Slinger V2. Oof, here you go. Hope you guys like it. Let me address the elephant in the room real quick. Eli, what in the name of Dollar Store Diablo? Tell me you're not cutting saw blades out of sheet metal, Eli. Tell me things haven't gotten that bad. Things are fine, guys. The reason why this looks like, honestly, Lisa Simpson's head. Historically, these are what I've used for my saw blade throwers. Usually, this was usually kind of my my go-to, these plywood blades with the really small teeth. This looks cooler, but this sticks a lot better. If you take a close little look here, you'll see the teeth are offset. So functionally, they're wider than the material that the blade is, I assume, stamped out of. That's good for like actual saw blade type stuff, you know, cutting. It reduces the friction on the blade. Same with the ripping blade. The little carbide teeth on there are wider than the material that the blade is cut out of. That, unfortunately, leads to tons and tons of drag inside the track against the rails in particular. It really slows it down. You can hear it. And it also grinds away at the inside of the rails. I never used one of these things long enough for that to really become an issue, but yeah, that led to me eventually putting them in backwards. It would reduce the drag a little bit, and it doesn't really affect whether or not it, you know, sticks into the target. If it's smashing into a piece of styrofoam this way or smashing into it this way, it doesn't really make a difference. But it was slower and there's wear and tear on the track. So what I've done instead is I've taken one of these things and I cut from the corner down to the little valley here just for some consistency. And now what you have is not only a perfectly flat blade that doesn't grind away at the thrower, but it even sticks better because now the points are pointing outwards. I'm sure you can imagine this sticks a lot better than that. So that's why they look like that. And I painted them red so they look like Diablo blades. Just kidding, it's actually so I could find them in the grass. Then it snowed 10 inches, so color doesn't really matter anymore. But I think it'll look pretty cool in the thumbnail, so I'm cool with the time I took to do that. Alrighty, here's the material you're gonna need for the thrower. Sheet of 1/4 inch plywood. You definitely don't need this much, but I like this tiger ply, and they don't sell it in smaller pieces, so I had to get the big boy. I'm pretty dang sure you could make this whole thing out of a piece of 2 foot by 4 foot. I guess we'll never know. And also a piece of 1/8 inch stuff. Doesn't have to be plywood. I've got this craft board. It's that stuff that's like rough on one side and smooth on this side. This thin stuff is what's going to be sandwiched in between the layers to create the clearance for the blade. So I would highly recommend using this thinner 1/8 inch stuff and not just trying to use, you know, more of that 1/4 inch tiger ply, because the bigger the gap in between the 2 pieces of plywood, the more wiggle room the saw blade is going to have in there, and that's going to create more drag because it's going to give the blade a little bit of an angle, and the teeth are going to knock into the rail a little bit more. So as thin as you can go without it squeezing the blade. So here's the outline. I'm doing a one-handed version. We're going to get to kind of see if having the long handle on it really does anything. So I'm going to do the full outline on the thinner stuff first, and I'm going to use it as a stencil to transfer onto the plywood. Then I'm going to cut out this inside part right here, and the outside thin part is going to become the track, or the thing that we sandwich in between the 2 parts. So you might consider this in here to be waste, or you can think of it as another stencil that you can use to make more of them. That's how I rationalize it. So quick tip, when you're cutting multiple identical layers, you're obviously going to save a lot of time and get much more consistent cuts if you're able to layer up your boards like this. In fact, if I was thinking straight, I probably would have just cut all 3 of these at the same time, but I cut both layers of plywood at the same time, and I found that the best thing for sticking boards together temporarily is this Frost King window seal tape. It's just this super thin double-sided tape, absolutely perfect for this kind of stuff. If you go near the actual tape section, this is the only kind of thing you're gonna find. This super thick, gummy, almost just like sheet of plastic. This stuff, the good stuff, is near the windows. Window seal tape, good stuff, pro tip. While I have these things stuck together, I'm gonna go ahead and do that skeletonizing. And believe me, you definitely wanna do this. You want this thing to be as light as possible. Just go ahead and use the first one as a stencil. Nice. looking nice. Now we're going to very carefully peel them apart. Pretty good adhesion to these veneers. You don't want to peel them off. Ooh, that feels really stuck on there. Somebody say denatured alcohol. Ooh, that's nice. Nice. The air in here is now 15% alcohol by volume. All right, now I'm gonna do all the screws first, take them out, do the glue up, and then put them back in. That way I don't have to mess with any clamps with the glue up and all the layers sliding around and all that annoying stuff. This is so much easier. I'm putting the screws in by hand with a screwdriver because I don't want to push it too far. Poke them out the other side. Nice. Alrighty, while that's drying, I'm gonna get to work on the target. I found this huge pine tabletop at Menards. It was on clearance probably because there's a couple of chunks taken out of it in the back. This obviously would make a pretty good target just on its own, but I think I could probably get like a few years of good usage out of it if I just reinforce it a little bit. So I also got a 4x4 sheet of this really cheap plywood. This was like 14 bucks. What am I doing? I'm just using these screws to keep pressure and also to kind of keep it from sliding around, but I'm going to be taking these out once I'm actually going to use it. Even though these are in the back, the fewer pieces of metal you can have in a throwing target, the better. Man, this thing is heavy. I bet it's gonna make a really nice sound when you hit it. Sound like chopping a tree. This is cool. It's honestly pretty portable. This is not bad at all to carry. It's maybe 50 pounds. I'm gonna prop this up next to the wood stove opposite a blower, and I'm gonna really load up the stove. It's gonna blast the surface of it with heat. It's a lot safer than holding it over the stove. And now I'm about to get the heck out of here because it's about to get uncomfortably warm in here. Wait, what am I doing? There we go. Alrighty, here we are, finally. I am anticipating this one's gonna be much easier to control than this one, so I'm gonna start here just because I don't wanna start the day off losing all my saw blades, but even still, you better believe I'm gonna stand pretty close for these first few throws. Man, my lips are frozen already. I can back up a little bit. Oh boy. Okay, well I didn't lose it. Oh, thank God. That was fast as heck, boy. You see how fast that was? Oh, that net works perfect. Thank you, God. Oh, thank you, Lord. I was afraid these were just gonna slice right through the net, but it's just like the backstop with the slingshot. Okay, so I really gotta aim that way. Wow, that goes far. No stick, but that was loud. That was cool. Man, it was like a gong. Oh! Well, we got a stick. Not quite the stick I was looking for. I swear once I get this thing down, it's gonna be terrifying. I'm probably gonna have to buy a new swing set too. Frozen mud will be the death of me. Not flying saw blades, frozen mud. I keep hitting it, but it's not sticking. I really thought this would be the perfect target. I thought it would stick so easy. I wonder what's going on. That's disappointing. Of course. It's like it's hitting too hard or something. Is that a thing? It hits so hard that it bounces out? It doesn't bode well for the two-handed one then. Okay, I'm getting the consistency, but I'm not getting the stick. Maybe I'm throwing too hard? That's some nutty speed though. I'm gonna throw it really light. That is bizarre. I'm so happy I'm getting the accuracy though. That is just very unfortunate. What's going on? Here's the other annoying part. Here's where it enters into the snow. You'd think it would be maybe here. And not even straight either. Slips and slides off in whatever direction it feels like. There we go. All the way out here. Isn't that crazy? What the heck? The box said shatterproof. They don't make them like they used to. Yes! Wait. I mean, I'm a nonchalant dreadhead. That reaction's gonna make it seem like it was a trick shot. Like I threw it 1,000,000,000 times and missed every single time. I have to get it and act like I do that all the time. All right, we gotten a couple of sticks. We know that thing goes crazy. Time to lose a couple of saw blades, I think. Oh man, I'm nervous. I don't know how to use this thing. This is a made-up object. There's no guide to using it. I should get closer. Not it. Oh, that's two. Two of them are gone. Gone till the summer. Yeah, literally, I don't even know how to swing this thing. A little high. Yeah, I don't know about this one. That's two swings that God's bailed me out of. Having to find a saw blade in the neighbor's yard. I'm thinking this one's gonna be a summertime tester, probably back at the Frisbee golf course. I'm already kind of nervous about where the other two went. It's cool though, it was fun. So in wintry, this one seems like it's probably the best for consistency in the throws, accuracy. This one seems like it's best for maybe thumbnails, video thumbnails. It's hard to tell if there is an actual range advantage to this one, just throwing at a target, 15 feet away. So unfortunately, it seems like we're probably gonna have to wait until the snow melts at the end of the season to get a real range test on them, see if this one actually has an advantage. If I'm throwing these things as hard as I can at the Frisbee golf course with all the snow, there's just zero chance I'm ever gonna find them again. So yeah, hopefully you guys can see that the concept works. It's pretty cool. And hopefully by the end of the season, we'll be able to think of some improvements to the accuracy and whatnot. But that is all we got for today. So thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.